Here now, former Fox News producer, host of the Breanna Morello Show, independent journalist, Breanna Morello, back on the program. Breanna, real simple question. How about it? With all your contacts, do you think we will ever get the real list from the deep state? Or has it been buried so damn deep, we're never going to, even with Team Trump, we're never going to be able to uncover it?
Yeah, I think we're never going to be able to uncover it. Pam Bondi, what a disappointment she was in all of this, literally lying when she was on a cable news channel the night before the big drop, saying that she was sickened by all of the content that she found in these pages that was given to her office. And that was just the day before we found out that the phase one of all of this were documents we already had access to. In fact, we knew more before phase one was rolled out than after, because phase one had a lot of redactions that, well, if you paid attention to the documents that were dumped online previously, we saw more information. We saw personal contacts and whatnot there. So Pam Bondi, an absolute disappointment in all of this. I don't know if she's intentionally doing this or if it's just accidental incompetence. It's really hard to gauge. I just don't like being lied to. Now, the American people have every right to be enraged by what took place. Those social media influencers, like you just cited, Dan, they had no idea that they were getting these documents dumped on them. And they had no idea that they were really just being used as props. I mean, it was disgraceful. So many of these people are just sitting in a room, and all of a sudden they get these binders, and intentionally they're then walked out in front of the media with these binders that you see here on your screen.
Yep.
Now,
and you and I know most all these people, and they're good people. I mean, Liz Wheeler used to work for us. Jack Posobiec used to work for us. DC Drano, Rogan O'Hanley's been on this program for 4 or 5 years. There's Jack. I had Chad Prather on last night. He was one of them. Savannah Hernandez. I mean, literally all 15 of them. I think I know and respect most of these folks. And again, if you're sitting in there, well, let's back up, Breanna. Somebody calls you or me from the White House and says, get your best suit, get your best dress on. We're coming to the White House to talk to Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, about giving influencers access like traditional media, because we feel that's important to get our messaging out through you guys instead of just traditional legacy media. That's a great idea. So you and I put our best outfits on, we fly to our nation's capital, we sit in the White House, and we're like, this is so cool. And then you get ready to leave, and it's like, oh, by the way, you know that Epstein crap? Here you go. By the way, here's the door. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go out and go, holy crap, they just trusted us with the Epstein stuff, we have it. So when people are giving my friends, some of your mutual friends, crap over this, I'm like, stop bagging on the influencers, okay? Yeah. These folks were invited by the White House, and the AG did what the AG did. Why are they getting so upset with them? And these are folks on our side, the MAGA side, that are upset with the influencers for the way they handled it. Your thoughts on that, Breanna?
Yeah, Dan, I got to be honest with you. I found that letter. I released that letter before anyone else. And the letter specifically I'm talking about is the one from Pam Bondi to Kash Patel. So when she handed them these binders, there was also a letter in there from herself to Patel saying that she learned from a whistleblower that these documents were not all provided to her, and she wants an investigation into it. So when she gives them the binder, she tells them, okay, this is embargoed. For those of you guys at home, that means you can't run this. You can't post this online. So the content in the binder, she embargoed until I believe it was 3 p.m. So that's roughly about 3 hours of the photo being taken, the video being taken of them, till us finding out 3 hours later what was actually in it. So my friends, who are obviously great sources of information on all of this, are there, and they're realizing, wait a minute, this is stuff we've already known. And she just had us go in front of all the media and tout these binders like it's a big deal. So somebody sent me over a copy of the letter, and I published the letter so that the American people knew before the embargo was up that they were about to be played. That in fact, Pam Bondi's office knew that there was nothing new, nothing relevant, and she was missing things. And so she used them all as props. And so the social media influencers that we're talking about were upset. They were upset enough about it to forward it over to me. And I released it an hour and a half before the embargo was up, because I don't like being lied to. I don't like lying to the American people. And I think that all of these people had their faces put out there, and Pam Bondi's office intentionally used them as political props in this game. It's not a game.
Breanna,
women were sexually assaulted. This is serious.
Sorry, of course it is. Final question to you. Do you think, and this goes back to the first thing you said during the interview here, do you think it's because she was on Fox News, your old employer, I love to call faux news. Do you think because she was on faux news saying what she said the night before, She then had to play it up the next day with the binders, giving them to these influencers to act like it was still a big deal because she had told the country the night before it was going to be a big deal in phase 1. I don't know. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's to cover herself. She said days before that too on Fox, that the files were sitting on her desk. So obviously she either didn't read it or she has no idea about the Epstein case. But reminder, she's the former Florida Attorney General. She knows all of the Jeffrey Epstein related content. So
Yeah, this has
I
been
don't
going
believe
on
it's just
since
ignorance.
07. Everybody knows that. Florida had him dead to rights and could have thrown his ass in jail, and Florida wanted to. And then someone with the George W. Bush administration and a U.S. attorney got involved, and a sweetheart deal was worked out. I wonder how that could have happened, Breanna. Someone on the list high enough up to have a U.S. attorney show up and work out a deal. Go look it up, folks. We're going way back to 07 when Epstein's butt should have been in jail the first time, and it would have saved a lot of these young girls from the horrors they went through being trafficked by him, his female pimp, and all these scumbags. And we're talking royalty down, kids, bankers, studio executives, politicians. They're all on that list, I guarantee it, if we ever get it. Breanna, as always, we appreciate your input. Check out her show, The Breanna Morello Show. Take care.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.